Hi everyone, welcome to the Missoula Marathon training class videos. Today we're going to be talking about injury reduction strategies. So as many of you know, many of you may have experienced already, most runners get injured at some point during their career. There's a lot of studies out there that say how often runners get injured, but the average seems to be about 70%. So that means about 70% of runners get hurt at least once a year. So this varies from really minor hiccups like blisters to full-blown injuries like stress fractures. Keeping this in mind, injury prevention should be a top goal for every runner. So injury prevention is much easier than treatment. That being said, I think we can all afford to spend an extra 5, 10, maybe even 15 minutes a day working on things for injury prevention. So many runners don't think that they don't have time for injury prevention work because they'd rather be running, or maybe that they think injury prevention interferes with their running, but focus on preventing running injuries actually, enables your running. So I've put together a list of 6 tips and tricks that I think most runners can use to help reduce their risk of injury while training for races. So the first one is to wear proper gear. And that includes shoes, clothing, and everything in between. So for shoes, it's definitely best to get a proper fitting at a specialty run store like the Runner's Edge before you start your training program. They can help you best about what shoe will best fit your foot and with your goals in mind. But buying the right running shoes is not enough. It's really important to maintain running shoes. The general rule of thumb is that you need to replace your shoes every 400 to 600 miles. And this timeline looks different for everyone, dependent on their training cycle. So for some people, they might need to replace their shoes once a training cycle, maybe 2 or 3 times a training cycle. It's really dependent on how much you run per week and per month. But just realize that buying shoes once at the beginning of the season is not enough to maintain shoe safety for the rest of the year, really. And then the second part of proper gear is clothing. And I touched a little bit on this last week with the chafing video, but you're going to want to wear moisture-fitting clothes that fit you properly. So you avoid clothes that are too loose, too tight. You want to avoid cottons, and you want to focus on synthetic materials. And again, you want to find clothes with smooth seams, so it doesn't rub against your skin. So all of these steps will help reduce discomfort and the risk of friction injuries like blisters and chafing. And if you want to learn more about that, you can view the video that I sent out last week about chafing. Okay, so we're going to move on to the second step, and that is really flexibility. One of the best ways to prevent an injury is to keep your body, loose and limber. So to do this, you're going to add flexibility exercises into your routine. So generally speaking, the more flexible your body is, the more range of motion you have, and the less injury prone you become. There's a lot of ways you can improve your flexibility. Some people might take yoga classes or Pilates classes, but even using simple self-massage tools like a foam roller can really improve flexibility. So as long as you're staying flexible, you can help reduce your risk of injuries. The third step is strengthening. I'm a big proponent of this. I think that the stronger your muscles are, the less likely they are going to be to break down. So strength training generally increases your muscle strength, endurance, and bone density. And there's a lot of ways to include strength training. You can go to the gym, but you can do at-home workouts. You can work with weights or weight substitutes like milk gallons or backpacks. But please note that even simple body weight exercises can make you a lot stronger and help reduce your risk of injury. Number 4, you're going to want to listen to your body. No one knows your body like you do. No one. So if you are feeling sluggish or run down, you might need to take your training down a little bit. Whether that's time or distance, that's kind of up to you. But yeah, make sure you're listening to your body. Make sure you realize that rest is also critical. You become a great runner by running, but you also become a great runner by listening to your body and taking the rest that it's asking for. So taking the time off of running every now and then can help you avoid injuries and fatigue-related injuries. And then number 5, whenever you introduce a strength program, a flexibility program, whatever it is, you need to take it gradually. You're going to start slow, whether that's shorter runs, less time on your feet, lower weights. You're going to start low and slow, and then you're going to increase that slowly and gradually over the course of usually several weeks, maybe even a few months. One of the easiest ways to get injured is just jumping in the deep end and going too hard, too fast. And then number 6, this is my last little point here, you want to prevent injuries by learning from others. So if you're struggling with injuries, you're definitely not alone. Most runners get hurt every year. Like I said earlier in the video, some studies put it at about 70% of runners get hurt at least once a year. So it's really important that you talk to people about your injury. Maybe you want to seek out people who have dealt with the same injury as you. You should also seek out professional information from run coaches, personal trainers, fitness instructors, and medical professionals. These individuals are people you can really draw knowledge and inspiration from when you're dealing with an injury. And it's really important to note that injuries are an educational experience. Yeah, they're not fun and they stink. Kind of throw all your plans out the window, but you can really learn from having an injury. You can learn the proper mindset, strategies, and tactics to preventing your next running injury. So I will talk a little bit more about the tools and gear that can help you reduce your risk of injury. 3 of them will be foam rollers, which is a simple self-massage tool that can really help increase flexibility and loosen up your muscles. The second one will be a resistance band, which is a great way to do some lightweight and some body weight exercises to increase your strength. And then I will touch on medicine balls as well. They're great for any type of runner to introduce to a variety of strength exercises. So thanks for watching, guys. I hope you learned a little bit and thought that this talk was valuable. If you have any questions or comments, you can comment on the video or you can send me an email and I'll get back to you as soon as I can.